Will Elon Musk save humanity? What a question, and why am I possibly asking it, you're thinking to yourself? Well, there seems to be never a day when Musk is not in the headlines. And of course, one of the things he's often in the headlines for is space. Among the many companies he has created and been hugely successful with is SpaceX. And he's got this huge dream that human beings will one day not just get to Mars, but colonize Mars and other planets. Now, by the way, Musk is not alone. There are other kind of multi-billionaires of the same vein. You've got people like Jeff Bezos, the Amazon tycoon, Richard Branson, who created the Virgin brand, and they've got Virgin Galactic, which again is trying to get into space and advance all kinds of things. And the thing I find fascinating about that is, what is it about space that draws people like Musk and Bezos and Branson? Before that, of course, we have government projects. Right, NASA, huge amounts of money has gone into. The Europeans have a space program, the Chinese have a space program. What is it that drives human beings to explore somewhere like space, that drives us to want to get back to the moon, that drives us to want to get to Mars? There is something insatiably curious deep in the human heart. A century ago, it was, conquering Everest, or getting to the poles, or, exploring the furthest flung corners of the Amazonian rainforests. Human beings seem to have this inbuilt desire to want to see around the next corner. And that's very hard to explain purely on atheism. Really, if you are an atheist, you probably are committed to the idea that we are just the atoms and particles of which we're made. We're just purely biological. And therefore, the only things we need, like every other creature on the planet, are to, survive, reproduce, pass our DNA on to the next generation. Exploration and filling in the blank corners on the map really doesn't fit into that paradigm. Christianity, I think, gives a much better explanation and says, God has put eternity in the hearts of human beings, writes the book of Ecclesiastes, that God has actually given us, has created us in his image, and part of that is desire to discover and explore and see what's new. And I think, Christianity is a much better home for that exploratory urge that we find within ourselves, whether it's, here on planet Earth or the stars. But something more interesting is going on too. Musk, where we began, has said that one of the reasons he wants to get to Mars is he is deeply concerned that human beings are wrecking planet Earth. We're destroying, our home, and it's going to be a disaster. And the only way to ensure the longevity of the human species is we need to get out there and start colonizing the galaxy. And when you first read that, you think, yeah, is he serious? Well, you read further and discover he is serious. And on the one hand, I have kind of two reactions. My first reaction is I think there's a genuine care and altruism there, actually. For all of his madness, there is a genuine desire to try and improve things. But at the same time, I think we all know deep down, if humanity, colonized Mars, are we going to be any different? Or are we just going to start behaving monstrously on yet another planet and wreck another world? There seems to be something really quite deeply broken about human beings, again unique among the animal kingdom, that we cause chaos and evil and suffering on an epic scale wherever we set foot. What explains that? Well, once again, I think the Bible offers a much better explanation of that story, saying yes, we are created as something even higher than the angels. God has created us in his image with huge potential and huge gifts and huge abilities, but also we are also deeply, deeply fallen, and we have gone wrong in tremendous ways because we've turned our back on our Creator. And the ultimate solution to the brokenness in the human heart is not a rocket that's going to take us to Mars. We actually need something that's going to deal with the brokenness within. We need Jesus and the cross to heal that rift within us so that we don't just cause damage out there in the galaxy as well as damage in here. So next time you see the headlines about some amazing rocket launch, whether it's Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or Richard Branson, give thanks and celebrate what a unique creation we are as human beings. Perhaps also ask yourself the question that as well as explore the furthest flung galaxies, maybe we need to think more deeply about what goes on within us and whether both those things are clues to the biggest story of all, the discovery of the God who stands behind this universe and the God who loves you and I so much that he didn't leave us the way that we are, but came to rescue us in the person of Jesus.